Hey everyone, welcome back to Game Find. My name is Dave, and today we are reviewing Cloud City. Now, as a disclaimer, this is a review copy from Outset Games. There they are. They are our friends up north. They distribute games from different companies, and they also make some awesome ones themselves. The 16 Warriors is one of my favorite ones. Now, we're not here to talk about that one. This one is made by Blue Orange, and this is Cloud City. It's Cloud City because, well, you're going to be making a 3D city in front of you that have bridges and 3 different size of buildings, and basically all you're doing is laying down a grid of 3x3 or 3x4 and making your own city and putting bridges down. The bridges score you points. This game really couldn't be simpler, but it's so super smooth and easy to explain. Before I get into the explanation though, let me show you the parts and we'll go from there. Alright, so this is what you get in the box, and it's pretty nice stuff. Now, it may seem gimmicky, these hotel buildings, all they are hollowed out shell of a tower, but I like it. They are very sturdy plastic. I would probably have chose a different blue, but I'm happy green is in the game, my favorite. And then you have these kind of beige ones. I will say the tiles, they're just doing their job, but if you were just to look at these, you would be like, they're very bland, but they're here for the building's purposes. And then these things right here are pretty cool. Very thick cardboard, and they come in all different sizes, little baby ones. And then you have some square cards. I can dig square cards, easy to shuffle. Alright, so good product right here. But now let me tell you how to play this game. Alright, so this is the game here. I'm only going to be showing you one player's, for example, but you'll get it just from that. Now, everyone will start with a starting token with the corresponding buildings already built there. You'll start with a hand of 3 tiles. You'll go ahead and keep them to yourself, but for this example, they're flipped over. And the name of the game is, in a 2-player game, build a 3x4 grid, so 3x4 tiles, or in a higher game, a 3x3 grid. Once you've done that, you tally all your points, which will be from these bridges, and I'll tell you how to get those in a second. And then whoever has the most points is the winner. On your turn, all you do is pick one of your tiles from your hand to expand. So you can go ahead and do this expansion here like this, and you have to place the buildings on here. So we'll go ahead and grab the blue, and we'll go ahead and grab the brown. Now, you can here play a bridge. You don't have to. That's the only optional portion of your turn. Everything else is mandatory. So if I chose to grab a bridge, this is a 3-point bridge. It has to fit within the 2 building spaces here, and they fit snugly here. Now, there are some exceptions about here when playing bridges. You can only expand off of a building twice. You can't do 3 bridges off of 1 building. You can't overlap bridges that are of the same height. And what I mean by that is, as you can see tucked away in the back here, I have a little tiny bridge potential right here for the blue building, which I'll do. Now, I could say no and just wait for more buildings to get built and weigh my options that way. But right now, this is what I've done, and then I will draw a tile, and my turn's over. Continue to do this for a 3x3 or 3x4 grid, and again, you can go ahead and build under and over buildings, but again, you can never overlap those of the same height. So let me go ahead and show you what a full expanded city looks like. Okay, so your little city might look something like this. I made a continuous loop, a L shape, but don't get it twisted. Just because I used a lot of brown, the blue down here, down below, can really get you just as many points. The goal is to try to get these long bridges. As you can see, they're worth 8 points, because at the end, once you've had your city built here, you'll count up all your bridges, and you'll do it for each color. Now, as you've seen, there was a few isolated buildings that I couldn't really do much with. That doesn't really penalize me in the standard game, but there are cards that come with the game that vary up the rules. They'll add a rule. You can play 1 or 2, and some say that you cannot have an isolated building. I think that's the one right there. Some will give you more points for having like a continuous loop, or the most of a certain bridge, or if you don't get one of each bridge, just certain different things. And I like that variation, but honestly, I think the standard, just vanilla version is just as much fun, because once you've built something, that's my favorite thing about a board game. If you watch my channel, I say it all the time, you get to look at it and say, I built that. Look at its glory. It's awesome. So that is the game in a nutshell. Now let me tell you what I think. Now that is Cloud City. This one is right up my alley. I love it, and it gets a 90 from me, and I'm biased here. This is exactly what I wanted from a board game. Having a finished product that looks so pretty, but it doesn't take too much effort. You feel so satisfied. I've lost every time, but I've had fun when I've played this game every time, because I've got to make my own. It's almost like my solitary experience, but there is a game going on. So for the competitive natured person out there, you can really min-max and try to make sure you place the tiles in a very strategic or tactile way. But if you just like making a cool looking city like I do, you can do that too. Now, this is a game that I would say is perfect for someone who wants to start teaching games. It's so easy to explain and so visceral to play. It would get somebody excited who doesn't know much about board games. This is a perfect, also an introductory kind of game, a welcoming game. But like I said, there are not many games I can really recommend for people who are new to teaching board games, who want to get into it. But this is the #1 game that I would say, because the rules are very, very simple, but they meld and make the game experience so very buttery smooth, and you can ramp it up a little bit if you want with their little cards. I hope to see an expansion, maybe add like a taller building, like purple buildings. That would be kind of cool. But for what it is, this game nails it. I love the 3D aspect so very much. This is something that will stay in my collection, and it is a great game for families, adults, kids, and I would say even advanced gamers. But again, I do think it's a good one. It sits perfect for a welcoming introductory game for people who want to teach and learn board games. So thank you so much again, Outside Games, for sending me this review copy. I really do appreciate it. I love this one, and I can't recommend it enough. If you want to pick it up, it's going to be in the link down below. And if you don't already have the like button smashed, I really would appreciate it. Please click like and subscribe. That also I appreciate that, because it helps the channel grow. Until next time that I see you, it's a mouthful. My name is Dave. Have a great rest of your day, and keep your head in the clouds. I try something new, but you're here on the Game Vine. I'm out. Bye. Vine Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance as a dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.